It's been 2 months of me looking to secure one of the latest GPUs.
Welcome back to what has been admittedly a rather poor, wet launch of RTX 5000 series. Really?
5090 being the most limited in supply.
I don't think Nvidia even wants to sell these things.
It's a battle. Every second I invest feels like hours, and hours are starting to feel like days. I'm growing tired of hitting add to cart just to sit in a virtual line and eventually be told that it's out of stock. I'm starting to wonder if it's worth my time anymore. At the moment, I don't even have a gaming PC, so it's essential I get a GPU to complete my build. But what I didn't know was just in a few long weeks, I will no longer need a GPU at all, because I'm gonna make one of the most drastic decisions that I've ever made. It's Thursday morning, and this is the day that I decided to take things to the next level. See, I made a decision to sign up for in-stock notifications, so I can never miss another GPU drop. Some may consider that a sign of desperation, and they're right. But it worked, because on March 24th, I was able to grab an RTX 5080. Months of fighting bots online had finally come to an end. Well, that wasn't until I spent a few days pondering what I did. I realized I made a massive mistake, because I spent $1,500 on this GPU. That's 50% over the MSRP. So after some thought, on April 5th, I returned it. And now I'm back to square one, back to fighting bots again online. But this time, it wasn't for long, because just a few days later on April 10th, I was able to get a 5070 Ti. Well, that one I never picked up from the store, because once again, I was falling for the trap of paying more than it's worth. Both cards respectively being $999 MSRP and $749 MSRP, and me paying way more for both was just something that I couldn't live with. I suppose I could have stopped here, or perhaps looked into an older generation of GPUs, but there's this thing called FOMO. The fear of missing out, and in my case, FOMO on what's new, and boy, was it eating me alive. This caused me to do something that I never thought I would, and something that many hardcore PC gaming enthusiasts would consider a big sin, and that's to never buy a pre-built. A lot of hardcore enthusiasts have a big belief that buying a pre-built is never a good idea, and I used to be under the same belief, but what about someone who has never had a gaming PC before? They may be overwhelmed with selecting the correct parts and putting it all together. Or in my case, I felt like I had two options: continue to fight just to pay outrageous prices for a GPU, or buy a pre-built that had close to MSRP parts as possible. Don't get me wrong, PC building is rewarding, and 9 times out of 10, you'll come out cheaper and more experienced, but it's not always the answer. In fairness to the hardcore enthusiasts, this would 100% be a bad deal if the price doesn't align with the parts that we got. So let's break down parts and pricing. The main components here are the Ryzen 7 7800X3D and the Gigabyte 9070 XT, so a beast of a machine. It does also have 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM at 6000 MHz and a 2TB M.2 SSD. As far as price goes, I got this from Best Buy for $2,065 after tax, which if you put these parts into PC Part Picker, and of course substitute for things that aren't available to purchase separately such as this AIO, the total after tax in my state was $2,035 if I bought everything separately. So we are looking at a $30 difference, but keep in mind, we didn't have to build this, nor did we have to spend days fighting bots online to get the GPU, and we also have a warranty. That warranty comes with being a Best Buy member, which cost me $60 per year, but if any parts fail, they will replace it. Also, something I advocate you do when getting a pre-built is ensuring everything is plugged in fully and correctly, as these are made by humans, and well, humans can make mistakes mistakes. Taking a look here, all the fan cables, the USB cable, the CPU cable, the AIO cable, and the 24-pin connector are all plugged in correctly. The 2 sticks of RAM and the GPU are sitting snug as well. And just in case you're like me and thought the system had no intake fans, these bottom 3 are actually reversible blade fans, meaning they are correctly flowing air through the system. Just checking these things allows you to know if there's anything missing or prevents something from not working properly when you go to start it up. But for most people, the thing they care about most is performance is important as well, because let's face it, we don't buy these machines just for it to not perform well. So it's vital we do some testing. Starting with Warzone at 1440p high settings and FSR set to balanced, we are getting over 200 FPS. Now this is a CPU heavy game, so I credit this performance to the 7800 X3D, and it's exactly why I bought this machine, because they paired it with a great gaming CPU. But more importantly, there's no stuttering, which is something I experienced a lot with that RTX 5080 laptop that I tested and with my previous PC build. There's nothing worse than getting into a game and it just stutters every 10 seconds. We ended the session testing a few other games as well, and their performance aligned with the hardware we have, so it's safe to say this pre-built performs well. But where the problem lies with pre-builts is the longevity, and it's one of the main reasons the hardcore enthusiasts don't recommend them. Can it withstand months and years of daily use? That's the question. I worked at Dell and Asus repairing pre-builts, and it's the one thing that always turned me away from buying them. Working there was a constant revolving door of issues with parts failing. In particular, it would always seem to be with the power supply or the AIO, both of which in this system I have may not even be the greatest. The power supply, being a C tier rated one from Nvidia, doesn't give me much hope for its sustainability. The AIO, the same. But to be fair, the temps have been holding very steady, getting around 65 degrees on both the CPU and the GPU. Obviously, this is something I'll have to revisit and keep you updated on down the line. But as of right now, it seems to be a great, well-performing machine. In the current market of PC gaming, if you want something now and don't want to have to deal with battling online to get parts, then this seems like a great option. It's as simple as buy, plug it in, and play. Headache-free. So yeah, maybe I broke the PC Master Race rule, but if it means I keep my sanity, then I will do it again and again. I will make an update video on this in the coming months to see how it's holding up, but until then, if you want to see me build a PC, check out my latest build that I did before it cost you your sanity to find parts.